The 200-second soundbite, presented by the General Leadership Foundation, facilitating active conversations between you and America's most trusted leaders.
Hello and welcome to the General Leadership Foundation. Thank you for joining us for this 200-second soundbite. Nelson Mandela was a man who lived his life putting others first, his family, his country, the world. Committed to using every ounce of energy to promote change, his inspiring example confirms how a single, persistent person can make a profoundly positive difference, no matter how daunting or discouraging their circumstances. Of course, no one, including Mandela himself, knew the full impact his actions would one day have on the world. Sentenced to life in prison in the Republic of South Africa on June 12, 1964, for refusing to succumb to the falsehood of apartheid, Mandela went into confinement clinging to his belief in the importance of fighting for truth. 26 years later, he emerged from prison, set free by none other than what he valued most in life, truth. Shortly after his release from prison, South African President F.W. de Klerk and Mandela reached an agreement that would help mend this long-standing rift in their country. And on February 2, 1990, the dark veil of apartheid was finally lifted from South Africa forever. Despite much rejoicing, many questions lingered, most related to how the deep wounds of so many years of exploitation and hatred could be healed. People questioned how justice could be restored, how reconciliation could be achieved. To some, only one answer seemed logical. Harkening back to an earlier time in world history where atrocities and heartache met the tribunals of justice in the halls of Nuremberg, Germany, following World War II, the courtroom seemed the most appropriate place to settle the score. But Nelson Mandela, joined by his very close friend Desmond Tutu, knew they needed to lead their country on a different path. And why not? After all, their entire life was marked by fighting for truth, sacrificing for truth, and ultimately, it was Mandela himself who knew it was time to be liberated by truth. In his heart, he knew revenge was not only hollow, but it would do nothing to kickstart the process of positive change for the nation and its people. So instead of fixating on retaliation, he sought reconciliation. Where retribution would only further divide and move people further apart, he believed restoration would unite and bring people closer together. So in an incredible act of unwavering commitment to leading the change he wanted to see, both Mandela and Tutu chose to deviate from expectations and create the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. All those who would come forward and confess the truth about their apartheid crimes would be set free. They would be granted instant pardon. Amnesty was their gift for the taking. In the history of modern times, perhaps no act of moral courage stands out so clearly or as profoundly as in this one moment. But it was only made possible because of the conviction of a man whose willingness to take a stand for his deeply held ideals and values ensured truth had her most powerful hour. Today, Mandela's legacy looms large over a world with too few positive role models. His legacy lives on in the timeless lessons about leadership he left for all of us. Perhaps it should be no surprise that Nelson Mandela's African name, Olaha, means the one who shakes the tree, the one who unsettles the status quo. It was as if he was born to teach our world the timeless lessons of humility, humor, and grace, even if it means standing alone.
Thank you for spending 200 seconds with us. Please register at generalleadership.com to keep the conversation going. We look forward to growing with you.